Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. Pre-market report. I apologize for getting this video out a little late. I was having a lot of issues again with the stinking sound of the system here, but I hope it's okay. I hope you guys can hear me all right. All right, look, we got to talk, you and me. So, people, what's happening here? As you already probably know, at least I hope you do, Israel is striking new targets in the Middle East, and this is putting a boost behind the price of crude oil. Imagine our shock. It's also doing something else. It's causing a little knee-jerk reaction here into the dollar. This is the relative strength, people. I understand this is confusing to some people. They write to me all the time. Let me just clarify this. This is comparative strength, all right? The dollar relative to other currencies. With regard to the dollar's purchasing power, it continues to be evaporated, and it's about to get a lot worse. There's no doubt about it. You all know this. At least most of you do. I hope so. Keep this in mind. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me show you something else. The effect of the higher dollar is putting I would say, a little pressure here to the upside with regard to the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. Free to everybody. Link in the description of this video. However, let me switch sides. You see that? We got this price channel here with regard to the MMRI. It remains in a downtrend, and this, in my opinion, because of the current dynamics in play, is going to get more dramatic moving forward. What do we know is going to happen? What is the European Central Bank about to do Thursday? Well, at least the market thinks so. Another rate cut. Imagine our shock. Inflation continues to rise everywhere. So, but you got the ECB. Oh, they're about to cut rates, and that's of course good to stop inflation? No, it isn't, but that's what they're going to do anyway. Here in the United States, we're probably going to get the same thing out of the Federal Reserve at their next FOMC meeting, despite the fact that right here too, inflation continues to rise. It's a destructive mechanism, people, and you're being wiped out. We're being freaking eliminated. So anyway, on the back of expanding war, imagine our shock here in the Middle East. Look, man, a lot of you keep asking me, what do I think about it? What do I think about it? Doesn't surprise me at all. Does it surprise you that, let's see, central banks are using their oldest trick in the book to allow themselves to inflate again? Who funds all these wars? Well, have you heard this before? All wars are banker wars. Yes, they are. And they're the ones that fund it all. We don't have a war chest. No developed nation on this planet has a war chest with a room stacked full of $100 bills or whatever it might be. No, no, no. All that cash to fund all these wars must be borrowed into existence, pulled into existence. You understand? It's the number one way that central banks inflate. Up until COVID, which we paid for to the tune of 3.6 trillion right here in the United States alone, war was the number one mechanism to pull cash into that. Then they found another way with COVID and warp speeds and everything else. But they're now falling back on their oldest trick in the book. Understand what this means here. When a central bank has to create cash out of nothing to fund whatever, in this case, war, expanding war, or even the build-up to war, it's purchasing power negative, and that's exactly what central banks are in the process of doing. You all know that. It's not only is this mechanism meant to destroy you on an individual basis by making you suffer, by having to shell out and work harder to earn the right to borrow those central bank issued notes into existence. You do realize that's what you do, right? When you go out there and work every day, you're working for one thing, for the privilege that they give you to borrow that cash into existence, and then it makes its way into your bank account. It's not yours. It's still theirs. These are central bank issued notes, which you now owe back to the issuing central bank, plus interest that they create magically out of nothing. Could you imagine being a central banker? That's how they gain their power. That's why, in this case, the Federal Reserve is the strongest institution the world has ever seen. And the European Central Bank and the Fed, they are working in lockstep, people. This is an extermination. This is an elimination, an extinction level event for for all of us, and this it's a wrecking ball for the economy. You know that, but no one's going to tell you that. You're not allowed to know what's really happening. So anyway, on the back of this knee jerk here, just real quick into the dollar, we are seeing a little issue here, and it's nothing with regard to the MMRI. But again, I want you to focus on the price channel. This is again going to drop here with the promises from illustrious presidents who have no way to lower rates. You were promised that. You remember during the Trump's campaign, but he knew he couldn't do that. But he thought you were stupid. Yeah, he did, because that's why he said that to you. Otherwise, see, he can't tell you that he doesn't have the power to do that. And central banks do, but he can work with the Fed, and that's what he's doing now to bridge us into the new system. Let me tell you something else, just real quick, people. If you're not understanding what you're seeing here or why, you're completely lost. The system now, and you know this because I've been telling you forever, is being deconstructed piece by piece. The financial system is being weaponized worse than ever before as this bridge is built into the new system. As we become the crypto capital of the world, not the constitutional money capital, well, then we won't be the constitutional money capital of the world, because that would stand in the way of the Federal Reserve's plan, which Trump is now working with the Fed to bridge the system. You understand? It's their system. Their system is going to be a tokenized system. It's not the president's system. What do you think we're being made? Really, honestly, you getting it finally? Why this is happening? Why Trump was selected? Do you see? He's also the proponent of negative rates, which I believe we're going to be getting. I really, really do. And that's not going to work out too good for you. I can promise you that. Anyway, so on the back of this knee-jerk into the dollar here and fear of expanding war with Israel now bombing targets all over the place, you got stock futures relatively flat. You got gold and silver kind of mixed this morning. Okay. Crude oil, of course, getting a bit higher on the back of people dying as war is expanding. Crypto is getting a bit higher pretty much across the board. Now listen, just real quick, I am well aware that there is economic information that came out this morning earlier. You got the CPI, you got inflation numbers. I will discuss this later during the live stream, although I really don't even want to. It's all fake. It's all propaganda. I despise talking about it. Anyway, going back to cryptocurrency real quick and Bitcoin. So you recall this just yesterday. I explained to you all how Bitcoin is not in a bubble. This is in your inbox. You should subscribe to my free newsletter. Again, link in the description of this video. I got so much pushback from this. Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. Bitcoin isn't a bubble. Oh, okay. Let's see. The same people that are telling me, okay, that Bitcoin is in a bubble now are the same people that were saying it at 10,000. You think they're going to be right at one point? Let me explain this to you real quick. Let's just throw out a hypothetical. Let's say Bitcoin is in a bubble, and it was in a bubble from 10,000 and 20,000 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70, 80, and still in a bubble at 100,000. Well, it's going much higher, regardless of what you may think, okay? People use the word bubble, they just throw it out there without actually understanding that there are parameters here to define what a bubble is, and I defined it for you in this, and I'm not going to cover it again. Without those two parameters simultaneously in play, you can't have a bubble, okay? All right? Anyway, I know there's a lot of people that just don't get it, and that's okay too. People, look, man, what we're all about here is people looking at the current situation, no matter what it may be, and understanding that they must do something about it. This is a channel for people of action. I have told you this since time immemorial. Lions. I call you lions because lions pounce on their prey. They take advantage of opportunity. If you do not take action in this environment here, what are you doing? By not taking action, you've obviously taken an action, okay? And if you're just going to allow the creatures and the system itself to destroy you, well, then that's too bad for you. Me, I refuse to let the system destroy me. That means I refuse to let it destroy you. Does that make sense to you? My sole job here is, again, to give you actionable material, things that you can take advantage of. But then you guys and girls got to actually do something. You understand? With regard to war, expanding war, the build-up to war, again, this is the oldest trick in the book. What do we know is going on here? Let's just outline this one more time. We're in a full-blown liquidity crisis. That means cash is drying up. You understand? Okay. They need to come up with any idea to allow the central banks to continue to inflate. And they're going to use puppets that have been placed behind the Resolute desk and other offices around the world to help the Federal Reserve do their evil deeds. Does this sound about right? Okay. This is exactly what we've been seeing here, what we're going to continue to see here moving forward. This is not about we the people anymore. It's about us versus them. Them, the handful of people that control the world. That's who it comes down to, a handful of families. That's it. We are nothing to them. They're destroying us all. This is all they want, even though they have extorted control out of all of us. And they continue to do so. You haven't seen anything yet. This new system that we're being bridged into by being the crypto capital of the world, if you have no idea what this actually, it's not just about the currency, people. I don't think there's a single guy who has done more to try to wake people up, wakey, with regard to what's coming. I've written papers about this. They're all for free in my newsletter, link in the description of this video. Go, if you have not subscribed to my newsletter, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, okay? But if you do, and you haven't seen it before, go click on that link to my newsletter, go in the little search, there's a little search thing, tokenized system. I outline it all for you. I've talked about it many times. I've done videos about it many times. This stuff has been published in several publications, including the Trends Journal. Wake up to what's happening. Don't just live in the now like an animal, okay, or a small child, okay? You, my beautiful friends here, must step back, look at the bigger picture and take it all in. And then you will see what's happening and why. You will realize why certain puppets are selected, why we do not have elections anymore. Nothing is left to chance. You understand? These things are put there, and it's a mechanism of destruction. It's an extinction level event on a global scale. People, I don't know what else to tell you, man. This is what's happening here. And you, rest assured, you're going to see more war, more reasons for war than you can possibly imagine. They're going to float at you. They're going to convince you that this is what we need to do because it's their oldest trick in the book. You understand? Put people against each other. Give them a reason to hate. Where does that come from? You tell me where hatred comes from. It doesn't come from the Almighty. That's our playbook. It comes from their playbook. And their playbook is not a good one. It's a very dark one. And I think we're pretty much on the same page. All right, people, look. So here we go. Let's just outline real quick. Expanding war in the Middle East. No shock to anyone. What we're seeing here is exactly what you would expect. A knee-jerk into the dollar. Okay, this could potentially put a little pressure on the stock market. But again, we're watching this. When I spoke yesterday about Buffett and these other so-called insiders dumping stocks, which they've been doing for the last 2 years. It looks like they're not as smart as we are. We've been in this market ripping its face off. I don't care what they do. The rich, the super rich, the insiders, they don't dictate my life to me. Do they dictate your life? Does people like Elon Musk, do they dictate your life to you? Do they tell you how to live? Because if that's the truth, then I think your compass is off by about 180 degrees. Believe in yourself and your ability to see through the garbage and take advantage of what's going on. If you allow fear to paralyze you, I guarantee you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You and me, we're lions. We're winners. This channel is for winners. If you don't consider yourself a winner, if you're paralyzed with fear, this is your opportunity right now. Every minute of every day is an opportunity to turn your entire life around. Start to wake up to the situation here, how it's being set up, why things are the way they are right now. And if you think the trajectory of this is going to change anytime soon because they just had a changing of the figurehead behind the Resolute desk, who's powerless to do a damn thing because the real government is the central banks, in this case the Federal Reserve, well, maybe you need to get up to speed and understand what's happening here a little bit. Again, look, people, for all you bubble callers, you're going to be proven yet wrong again. Is this volatile? Are we going to still see extreme swings in the price action of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Obviously, yes. Why? Because it's very thinly held, and the whales can move it. But if you can't see why there is still opportunity here while we're being bridged into the new system, what did Trump call himself? The Bitcoin president, the crypto president. You still don't believe him. You think he's lying to you? Those that you think he never lies and he walks on water with Elon Musk? Um, you guys and girls got to get with the program, man. Anyway, look, guys and girls, we got this down, all right? And we're not going to allow the system to destroy us. Ain't happening, not on my watch. You understand? All right. We will cover more of this stuff later. I'll talk about the crap economic news during the live stream, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern live stream, later on Eastern. I hope to see you there. I really, really do. Please, people, share this stuff. Get it out there. Comment. I want to hear from you. Again, I got so much pushback from this yesterday. I couldn't believe it reading through the comments and even in my newsletter. But again, think about what I'm telling you. The same people that are saying Bitcoin's in a bubble at 100,000 are the same people that are saying it was in a bubble at 10. I think their credibility is kind of shot, if you ask me, because I'm the one who's nailed it to the wall. These people, if you listen to them, they'd have cause you to lose out on a lot here. Me, my job is to let you see clearly through the nonsense, lift the veil. You understand? And you lift that veil and you see opportunity everywhere. And that's where we as lions want to be. Make sense to you all? I love you all from the heart. I'll see you later, people. Until we meet again, please take care of yourselves and each other, all right?